Oh man, what a day. My student, he moved to the hotel. So, I mean, something that happened today. It was time for him to get his own room so he could get some relaxation. Kind of wanted the truck to myself, you know. That too. Good guy, man. I mean, like, we played a lot of video. Like, we played Smite last night. We did our laundry last night. Had a great time, though. No kidding. Big Country, what's up, bro? And Nick says, how you doing? I'm doing great. Whoop whoop, Jacob. Yeah, Nick, I'm doing great, man. You ever get all your situation done with your TNT miles and all that stuff that you were going through? How's the audio on this? I hope it's good. But yeah, I'm using my TV for a light source right now, so I'm hoping it's doing good. But you know, you should be done in February, and audio's good. Thank you. Quiet audio. Yeah, I can hook up my headset. Last time I hooked up my headset and I think it did better. Like my Blue Parrot. I think my Blue Parrot will sync up to this app. Alright, it's connected. It should be mid-February. Okay, so Nick's coming out here Nick's not coming out here. He's been here. He's been doing TNT, so, you know, Nick will be here, or he'll be getting his own truck in February, so, way better. Alright. So, now that I know for sure that this headset will connect to it, you know, that's a big help right there. But yeah, I just been hanging out. Last night we went to eat Chinese food. I met my buddy Frank's new student. Oh, boom! There's Jesus. But I met Frank and his new student and Zach. We all went to eat Chinese food last night, so it was real good Chinese food. We ate till we were stuffed. We had a good time. Frank's student's hilarious. He's funny. Me and Jesus already got 6 subscribers. Look at that, man. Jesus hasn't even put out a video. Already got 6 subscribers. That's good, Jesus. I hope you get many more. But yeah, today we hit the pad early this morning. We were out there for maybe 4 hours, and we were already done with all of our back end. We were done with the pre-trip, you know, and I mean, shoot, we didn't have nothing else to do, so I was like, man, let's go back. Tomorrow's your big day. Tomorrow you go through my test. And Jesus said he was more worried about my test than he was his actual test. He was more nervous for it. Don't know why, but I'm not that scary of a guy. Jesus out there doing TNT, living that TNT life. I'm over here chilling in my truck in PA, you know, doing laundry. That's some work. I went through my laundry in the washer. We came back, we set a timer, played some Smite on the Xbox. We were playing Smite. As soon as it was time to go back in, we ran back in, took our laundry, threw it in the dryer, turned the dryer on. Dryer takes like 50 minutes. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. You know, the life of a over-the-road truck driver living in this truck. If I was training in Springfield, I would be home. I'm sure my wife really wants me home, but, you know, it's what we do. Like, I need to make money for my family, and I need to get students and pass students. So here I am. I'm in PA doing the work that's necessary. When is test day? Test day is on Wednesday. So the reason I've been here the reason I've been here 3 days is because I was supposed to be back on the 20th. So I was supposed to get back today, do some pad times today. Well, we were already close to the terminal and the snowstorm was rolling in, so my fleet manager said, just go in the terminal. Just go to the terminal. I was like, that's cool. That's an extra day of practice. Really didn't need it with this student, but, you know, hey, I'll take an extra day practice, you know. So that's why we're here so early. But test day is Wednesday. So tomorrow he gets my test, which is going to be like the hardest test. Jesus is chilling at a flying day. Had to kill a day and a half before delivery. So you taking a reset probably. That's good. I mean, like, out there when you're on a team truck, my trainer taught me this, and it works the best, is you need a 34-hour reset. So when your trainer drives, you know, you're going to be asleep. That's 12 hours. He's going to stop parking a truck stop. You're going to be there for 12 hours to take your break. And then boom, he starts driving again. It's going to add up to 36 hours. But I mean, like, you need 34 for your reset. You know, it works out good. I mean, on a team truck, that's the best way, is run, stop a day in a truck stop, you know, or 12 hours and then keep on going. Any tips on surviving the TNT phase? Yeah, if you and your trainer are not like getting along and you're like, you know, y'all are kind of butting heads, just get up when it's your time to drive, do your thing, go to bed when it's your time off, you know, don't get into arguments and stuff. You know, just stay positive out there, Jones. Stay positive, man. Don't let anyone take your shine, man. Do you. You know, just run your miles. Perry says, my wife is interested in OTR driving, and I am disabled vet. How can't drive? Maybe he meant that can't drive. Does Prime allow spouse to accompany a driver? Yes, that I think you're saying that your wife is interested in going over the road and you can't drive because you're a disabled vet. Yes, you can do that. She can become a driver, and as soon as she becomes a driver, she can put in, you'll have to send a copy of your license to Prime and the right paperwork, and you can be a passenger on the truck. It's no problem. No problem at all with that, Perry. Jesus says, we got a solo load on a team truck, so we got close by too soon, so I'm taking a 34-hour reset. Yeah, it happens sometimes, Jesus. The best thing with those loads is, like, you know, hey, especially if it's time for you to get a reset, go ahead and try to get a reset on that load. I mean, there's no harm in getting a reset. It'd be nice if y'all could both get the reset at the same time on a situation like that. That way you have 24 hours in a truck stop. Y'all can get off the truck and go do something, like go get an Uber. If you planned it perfect, then you would plan it where you could go to, like, maybe a major city, get a parking spot, and get off the truck and go do something instead of just sitting in a parking lot all day or all night. So yeah, Perry, for sure. Have her come out here. If she's really interested and she has the passion for it, she can do it. Some of the women are the best at backing and driving out there. Like, I've seen a driver, an old school driver, looked like he'd been driving his whole life. He tried to back into this spot. I was like, oh, he ain't getting that. He took off. A younger driver, another male driver, he tried to get in that spot. He couldn't get in there. He took off. Then I was all like, nobody's gonna get in this spot. Here comes this truck with a female in it. She lined it up, and I was like, she ain't getting in there. Boom. she put it in there. I was like, did that just happen? Now it's going to be hard for me to get out. How am I going to get out of this spot now? It was a cluster of a truck spot, but lot. It was pretty bad, but yeah, she knocked that out. I was going to go to CRST, but I changed my mind. Is Pride better than Swift? I know Swift has a bad rep, but just want the truth. Chad, I've never worked at Swift, so I can't give you my opinion of Swift, but to me, I would figure that Prime's one of the best schools. Now, I don't think Swift is a bad company either. I think they're just so big that, and they have so many trucks that they get a bad rep from the couple, like, say we have 100 people at Prime, and say 10 of them are bad. Well, everybody's going to remember the 10 bad ones. Well, Swift's a bigger company. Swift's like 1,000 drivers and probably 200 bad. So yeah, everybody's going to see the bad ones. You know, I don't think Swift is, I think they got a bad rep, you know, because of they're so big, they have bad drivers. You know, everybody sees an accident, they take pictures. It's just that one bad driver, you know. Yeah, he just did a reset yesterday. Jesus says his trainer did a reset yesterday. But, Chad, I would definitely look into Prime. The thing with Prime is you're guaranteed a job at the end. You work with them for a year. You don't have to pay for the school and part of your CDL. At Prime, they give you the opportunity to do whatever you want. Look, I'm spoiled at Prime. If I go somewhere else and I don't have a nice, beautiful terminal like these, and I don't get weight rooms and all that stuff, man, I'm gonna be like, wow, I'm kind of disappointed in this company, even though I know that for a fact that Prime has spoiled me to this lifestyle. But Prime's always been good to me, Chad. Like, it's a great company. I love Prime. Let's see here. Jones says, thank you, thinking of coming to Prime Inc. doing flatbed. Oh yeah, flatbed. Where are you, Jones? It depends where you're from on the flatbed. Like, you know, flatbeds in like certain areas. Like, you're gonna, North Carolina's a good place for flatbed. Texas, Oklahoma. I mean, they're like the whole, like that whole area down there is great for flatbed. So like, you know, if you want to do flatbed, they'll put you in flatbed for sure. But like, I would look at it more of flatbed as like, hey, where do I live? Like, is there a lot of flatbed opportunity here? Because odds are with flatbed, you can get like regional and stuff like that, be put on different boards and kind of be in that area. So it'll make it way better for home time. Chad says, I want to go company solo. Shoot, come out here. We got company solo positions at Prime. Come out here. You know, company is what I'm doing. I'm company OTR solo. I train though. Like, I'm also an instructor. You know, I teach the new guys. So I make phenomenal money. Like, I'm making it good. Like, I'm doing good. Prime's treating me well. Cleveland, Ohio. Well, shoot, you're right there. Like, you got a lot of opportunities right there, Jones. I don't know the freight routes in flatbed too much. Like, I got a friend that I could ask. So maybe next time I come on here, I'll find out for you if Cleveland, Ohio is a good place for flatbed. Jesus says, I've been TNT for a week, but one thing that I do is I do my own thing when I stop. I keep my distance from my trainer, but making sure I know when to get back into the truck on time. Yeah, for sure. You know, sometimes it's better just to keep your distance from your trainer. Give him his space. You know, he probably been driving truck a while, and he likes his truck, and he wants to keep it, like, he wants it his way. So you're up there in his space, you know, he kind of wants his space back. So yeah, jump out the truck, give him his room, let him breathe, you go breathe too, you know. Chad says, well, if I can get in there, I'll be coming from Oklahoma. Thanks for the advice. Chad, you'll probably be in the Springfield then, in the Springfield class. That's Prime's like big terminal right there. Like that's the mothership. So you'll be able to see the big Prime. What's going on, Highway? There's Highway Junkie. But yeah, for sure, Jesus, give him his space. You get your space. Go do your thing. You know, get away from each other. Go talk on your phone somewhere. Call your people. See how they're doing. You know, let him talk to his people. You know, you don't want to be in each other's face the entire time you're on TNT, man. You just get tired of looking at somebody. Like, even me and my old teammate, I was just sick and tired of looking at him some days. I would just be like, man, I am tired of looking at this guy. I wish he would get off the truck and go do something. You know, and then, like, you start, since you're living with somebody so long, like, the little bitty things that will make you snap are little bitty things. Like, my old teammate, if I left a pin in this cup holder and the pin went up there on the visor, then he would start freaking out. He would get mad. Or like, you know, I used to do it on purpose, you know, it's kind of just to mess with him, is every message we sent out to dispatch, he liked to keep in the outbox. Well, we never ever looked in the outbox. Like, why would we need the messages in the outbox? So every once in a while, after I would deliver a load, I would delete the outbox and I would delete all the messages. And he would get up and he'd be like, "Whoa, you deleted the messages." Hey, man, it happens. My bad. But he would get mad. He was all like, "That's my records. That's my records." I was like, dude, Prime keeps records on every message we send. Chill out. But yeah, it's hard living with somebody in the truck, you know, especially a trainer, because like, you don't know him, he don't know you. Like, it's kind of like, hey man, you know, we're living together now, we're roommates, you know, you gotta deal with me, I gotta deal with you. And you start to feel like you're just stuck with that person on TNT too. Like, you're all like, man, these walls are closing in, I'm stuck with them. You know, sometimes it's best to go on home time. Just get a refresher. Once you get a refresher, you're fully charged again. You're going to be like, by the time you get back on the truck, you're going to be like, man, I miss my trainer. I miss him. You get back on the truck, let's run. Before you know it, boom, you're done with your miles. You're getting your own truck. Then you're all like, I'm not ready to upgrade, man. Come on. You're leaving me? What am I going to do now? Because he was your crutch, you know? You're just gone. Okay, have you ever been to the Prime Terminal and PA? That's where they're sending me for training. Jones, I'm at the PA Terminal right now. It's in Pittston. So yeah, man, I'm over here right now. This is where I've been training. So come on out here. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in a class that I'll be your instructor. Because I do teach flatbed guys. I teach tanker guys. I mean, if there's not a tanker trainer out here for you, or there's not a flatbed trainer out here for you, guess what? They're going to put you with me. We're going to run reefer. So with reefer, you might get more experience of backing into docks and stuff. A lot of flatbeds are side-loaded stuff. D. Reed, what's going on? You said hi. D. Reed said, what's up, Twisted? Jacob says, especially when it's Mr. Grumpy. He's talking about, he was my TNT trainer. And we call him Mr. Grumpy now. I think that's his new nickname. What's going on, Robert? Nick says, I haven't had a trainer that I've missed yet. LOL. I don't know, Nick. Maybe, you know, right now you're stuck with them. Hey, when you get your own truck for a while, and you're off on your own for a while, you might start missing the guy. Seem to always be in that area. I haven't seen you here, Nick. You should have said hi if I was here. Mark Newton said, I'll be in PA starting training April 1st. I have a CDL now, but no experience. I got my Class A in June last year. Heather Ross and I have been talking, going reefer. Hey, come on out here. Go reefer. You know, I mean, that's good that you're coming out here April 1st. That's not too long, so come on out here. You know, it's a great company. And reefer keeps you busy. Like, I mean, I'm busy. Like, I haven't seen no slowdown in freight. Last year was kind of slow. I'm not gonna lie. Last year it kind of slowed down, but I was still doing good on mileage. It's just every once in a while I would have a bad week. I would be like, ooh, this week's not good. And highway is gonna be here February 3rd for training. February 3rd. Let's see, when would I be back? Shoot, I don't even know. I might be back. I might be here around then. I don't know. Yeah, Reed says it's great to know that I train both. Yeah, I do train both. I'll teach you on the reefer trailer though. I mean, I can teach you on the flatbed trainer. I'll tell you what, Reed, if I get you, we're gonna train on a flatbed trailer. We're gonna test you out on a flatbed trailer. You'll be my first, so you know, I got lots of friends that have flatbeds, so if I'm having a problem with a flatbed, then I know who to call. And that'll also be more experience for me. I've been wanting to teach somebody on a flatbed, and I've been wanting to find it's even harder to find a tanker trailer around here, so I've been wanting to get a tanker trailer and teach somebody on a tanker too. One of my friends is saying that he's gonna do it pretty soon, and then he'll have all three of them. He's tested with every trailer. Once he does that, I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of gotta get on his level. There's a positive voice in trucking saying hello. Kiersey, right there, she said hello everybody. But yeah, I don't care what kind of trailer it is, we'll find a way to teach you on it. Like reefer, flatbed, tanker, I don't care. We'll get you your CDL, period. And I'll try different trailers just because it's something new. So have you ever had a situation training where you had a second thought about just going solo, or is the money too good to pass up? I have tried to quit. Like, I have quit once, pretty much. I had a student, and man, he knew every word of his pre-trip, every single word of his pre-trip. He could tell you the page and everything, and he was a good student. He was good at driving. Just backing, it wasn't clicking. And like, I was out there for about 4 days, 16 hours a day, 15 hours a day, however long it took, and he was not getting it. So I had to get him eval'd, and then he kind of passed out on me and fell on the floor, and they sent him home. But I felt like I failed as a trainer, so I actually left out of the terminal without a student. I said, you know, it was my problem. I couldn't teach him. I said I should be able to teach anybody. So I did quit training, and I left. And I was like, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing this no more. So I left, and I get a text from him. And he sends me a text, and he says, hey, he said, my good friend Daniel, he said, I really appreciate all the patience you had with me and trying your hardest and doing everything that you could to help me. He said, it wasn't your fault. I hope that you're still training out there and continuing. You're a great man, and I really appreciate everything you did. It's not your fault that I couldn't do this. So I did quit training. I was gone for a little while, and once I got his text about how, like, I felt like I failed him, but whenever he texted me all that, you know, I felt like, man, if he's actually like took time out of his day, he's on his way home, he went home and he took time out of his day to send me a text message to tell me how good I was, and he appreciated me, and I felt like I failed him. So, you know, I mean, it was upset. Like, I was kind of upset that he got sent home. I didn't like it. Like, I mean, But, you know, we can't have somebody getting so stressed out behind the wheel that they black out like that. I mean, you know, he was a good guy. You know, I felt really bad for him. I was really emotionally involved in him, and, you know, so that's how that went. So, yeah, I have quit training before, and I came back. You know, it's how it is. I came back, and they gave me a student like that, and they said, hey, you're doing a great job, just go. I have the endorsement, but I don't think I want a bomb behind me for tank. Oh, the tanker endorsement, you got to get it anyway, because in the reefer we carry liquids, sometimes in drums and stuff like that. You have to have a tanker endorsement to pull that stuff. So, yeah. Kirsty said, I understand that. I felt the way about my first trainee. Okay, so you had one too. Ozzy, I just accepted the orientation at Prime. Train me, we'll have a blast. I hear that all the time. Train me. Like, you know, I can't guarantee I'm going to be anyone's trainer, because I had a guy out here before, and he put me down that I was going to be his trainer and everything. I made plans to go get him, and then he gets on some other guy's truck, and he texts me, hey, I went ahead and got on some other guy's truck, I'm gone. And I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, I've made plans around you. Like, I'll tell you this, if you put me down for a referral, then, you know, let me know and we'll talk. And that is great. You're right. It's great that he told me. Like, I mean, if he wouldn't have texted me, I probably wouldn't have came back and trained. I was done. I'm telling you, I felt like it was all my fault. When I feel like that, I had enough experience to teach someone right away. I might give it a try. It's just that I've heard some horror stories out there. Everybody has horror stories. It's about, like, if your heart's into training. Your heart has to be into it. Like, you have to give it your all. And you have to, you know, love your job. But yeah, you know, training is not as easy as everyone thinks. Being an instructor is not easy. Like, you have to be able to read somebody and find out how they learn the best. You have to put a lot of extra work into it. Like, those days I spent out there on the pad, we're talking about the guy that got sent home. You know, I spent all those hours and all those days out there with him. I didn't get paid for it, because guess what? He went home. I didn't get paid for it. You got to be able to be like, hey, you know, I tried my best, and, you know, I didn't get paid for being on the pad all those hours, but you know what? I gave it my best shot. Sometimes that's what it takes, is like knowing that, hey, man, I might not get a paycheck this week, but you know what? It's going to make up for it next week. So, knock on wood, I haven't ever got a zero paycheck. Like, I think probably the lowest my check has ever been is, I don't know, I'll have to ask my wife. She keeps up with stuff like that. She never forgets the bad checks. So, you know, I'm hoping that, like, if I had a guess, it was whenever I totaled my truck, whenever a car jumped over the overpass and I hit it. I think that's probably the lowest check I ever got. I think my check was like $260. 200. Oh, there's my wife right there. She said $200 was my lowest check. So, yeah, $200. Training seems really hard. I've been through hell, but I finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I've earned my upgrade. Yeah, training is hard. It's hard on everybody. Like, a lot of the students, like a lot of TNT students and stuff like that, they feel like they're the victims. But guess what? As much stuff as you're taking, your trainer's taking as much too. Like, he's having to deal with somebody in his space. Like, he may be driving you nuts, but think about how much you're driving him nuts. Oh, see that? My wife even knows the month. Last January, I brought home a $200 check. And I can almost guarantee I know when that was. I had somebody that had a test multiple times, and he was the only student on my truck, and he kept on failing. So I went a whole week of him failing the test. You know, and that was like, that was not, you know, it wasn't good. But I mean, guess what? He finally got his CDL though. His whole problem was he just got nervous on that test. He got really nervous. He even told me, man, I'm nervous every time. I'm like, dude, stop being nervous. Go out there and get your money, you know. Pass that test. Nerves is what kills most people out there. They get nervous on that test. That's one thing I don't know how to teach yet. Someday I'll figure it out how to teach somebody not to be nervous. I need to become one of those hypnotists with the watches. You're getting sleepy. You'll have nerves of steel tomorrow morning for your test. Boom. Poof. You know. What's going on, Mush? Still love the channel, man. I'm glad y'all made it to Texas safe, and you know, all that bad weather's out of the way. Good evening, Ryder. In the beginning I thought I messed up and punished because of extra training, but now I look at it, it's a blessing. Sometimes extra training, you need it, like for reals. You need extra training sometimes. It's nice to have the crutch still. You know, a crutch, somebody to wake up if you need any help. It's really good. Oh, you're already in Missouri now. Do you know what happened to Junior Honduras? I have not seen a video from him in a while. Hey, I never watched Junior Honduras really, so I don't know. The guy, I met him before. I met him, and he's really, really prideful of himself. Like, he's on a higher level than us. Like, we're just dumb truck drivers, I guess. He's up here, so you know, I don't watch his videos. I get a bad vibe from somebody, and I just don't watch their videos. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not trying to start a war with him, so you know, and I know he's not watching this video because he wouldn't subscribe to me. But I mean, like, I don't watch his stuff. I really don't. I don't care for it too much. I like Mush's stuff. I love Chad Rich. I watch him. I watch J Kloss vlogs right there. You know, I watch a bunch of different people, but I try to stay away from people that I met that I really don't. I'm not feeling their vibe. We got different personalities, I guess you would say. I was nervous when I took my CDL test. I failed the pre-trip 2 times, but after the 3rd time, I passed with flying colors. Hey man, it happens. You probably fell on the airplane. Why do I never mute this thing? I am the most unprofessional YouTuber in live streams ever, man. I just leave my ringer on and just press play. Y'all somebody give me a thumbs down over the call interruption right there. Junior is a company, man. Yeah, Junior is a company, man. Love Chad Rich and Crazy Bags. Yep, I watch Crazy Bags too. I watch both of them. I haven't met Crazy Bags in person. The closest I ever been to Crazy Bags is I was parked right next to him one day, and a truck stopped. We were both bobtail at a Pilot in Arkansas, and I go, oh, there's Crazy Bags' truck, and I got in my truck and went to sleep. That's Junior calling? Ah, Jesus, that is Junior calling. Hey, I heard you said my name, and I'm gonna get this straight. I will fire you from Prime if you ever talk bad about me. I got that power. Is that how it goes, Jesus? Oh man, see, Jesus is funny. Wait till y'all get his channel, man. That dude's hilarious. I could see him doing all kinds of funny videos. No one will notice you failed. I failed backing once and driving twice. Driving a manual twice. 4 years later, here I am. Yeah, you're right. You know, people fail. And nobody even cares about like your record or not. The most important thing, like I try to tell people, don't worry about getting a trifecta. I say you're worried about a little $250 or $200, whatever the trifecta bonus is right now. You're worried about that whenever we're talking about getting you a CDL. that's worth $50,000 to $60,000 a year at minimum? Come on, what are we really worried about? We worried about a trifecta bonus, or we just worried about passing the test? We should be trying to pass that test. Yeah, Nick saying Junior called me too, huh? Oh man, Junior's calling me tonight. I'm a little guy on YouTube. I got 200 subscribers. You think he cares about me? Pass is a PSD pass. But the try is nice. True, the trifecta money is nice, but I'm not sure 100%. But what I'm hearing from some of my students is if you fail it, like you fail something, they still give you some of the trifecta bonus. Like you won't get the full thing, but it's downgraded for each thing you failed or something like that. Nick says 20 people and only 3 likes. Wow, I got 20 people in here. I think this is the most people I ever had in one of my lives. Look at that. That's crazy. And thanks, yeah, like the video if you like it. If you didn't like the interrupted phone call just a minute ago, hit the thumbs down. I don't care. Twisted told me you better trifecta have to make up. Jesus, wow, Jesus, you're sorry, bro. You were sorry. Oh man, you were sorry for that, Jesus. I ought to kick you out of here, man. That's sorry. I told Jesus, I said, hey man, you gotta get me a check this week. I said I can't go 2 weeks in a row without a check. You have to trifecta. But you know, Jesus, man, you could put all the pressure on him in the world, man. He's cool, keeps it cool. So like, that's funny, Jesus. You see Jesus putting me on blast over here. Topics and pick some great advice. Right, Reed? Watch a lot of channels. You know, knowledge is power. You might learn something from someone else's channel that I didn't say. You might learn even more. You know, my trainer said if you get the bonus, he'll take you out for lunch. I did, never saw him again. That's horrible. Why? How you gonna tell somebody you're gonna take them out? I don't take nobody out for dinner no more. I used to take people out for dinner, and I would take people out for dinner for like a trifecta. But after a while, I was all like, man, I'm doing these students too fast. Like I'm buying everybody steak every night. You know, this is getting expensive, and not only that, but some people I don't like. So like I would pass them, and I was like, oh, I gotta go have dinner with this dude. I would still take him to dinner, but I didn't want to go to dinner with him. Like I was done with him. You know, he might have got on my nerves, and I'll be straight up, he got on my nerves. So I didn't want to go have dinner with him. What's going on, John Doe? Troy, what's up? You got me a burger for lunch. Jesus, you got jokes again. Okay, I went over there, and at the terminal they have these mini burgers. So like they told me it was a small burger. Well, I said give me 2 of those and some tater tots. So they gave me 2 big burgers and some tater tots, and I was like, wow, they told me these were mini. So Jesus comes walking by. I'm all like, hey, Jesus, come have lunch with us. So, boom, gave Jesus a hamburger and some tater tots.
You have one unread message.
I guess I did get you a meal, Jesus, for trifecta. And then also, like, I also felt bad for, like, the guys that didn't trifecta. Like, I would still take them for dinner, but I was all like, I gotta stop telling. That's putting more pressure on them. So if I tell them, hey, if you trifecta, I'm taking you for dinner. It's kind of messed up. Like, if you don't trifecta, I'm not taking you to dinner. So like, I'm more like, hey, the guys like we click and we get along with, I might go do something, but you know, it's not after the test. It's usually like a couple days before the test. We'll go eat somewhere or something. You know. Next time I better see a steak. Man, next time, Jesus, you need to come to my house, man. We'll hit up the grill, dude. You still have to send those tamales down you've been telling me about. My trainer took me to the Waffle House next to Springfield. Hey, Waffle House is pretty good. Well, I don't know. I've never been to the Waffle House, but at least he took you somewhere. Okay, my wife said, Jesus, you're coming over for some steaks next time. So that's a date, bro. But yeah, man, it's all good. You know, the trifecta bonus is good if you get it. If your trainer takes you out to eat for getting a trifecta bonus, it's good. It's kind of messed up because it's pretty much like, hey, if you don't trifecta, you're not getting a dinner. Like, you know, hey, my trainer was really good to me. You know what my trainer did? My trainer said, he goes, here's the money. Since you trifecta, here's the money. Go pay for you getting your license switched. And then, on top of that, he took me to dinner that night. That's awesome. Like, Jacob, man, I appreciate you paying for my license getting switched over and a steak dinner, man. That was cool. So, I mean, like, Jacob went up and above everybody else, I think. I don't think anybody really has a bigger story than that, because switching over your license, I don't know how much it was in Missouri at the time, like $50 or whatever, but he paid for it. Okay, Jesus is still working on those tamales. You know, you need to find out when you're upgrading to your truck, man, and have them mailed to my house and make sure I know about it. I'll come home, because if you mail them to my house and I'm not home, my wife is going to eat them all and be like, hey, they only sent 2 tamales. I'll be out. So, like, I'll get home whenever they get there, man, and we'll have a big dinner, just us, bro. We'll eat some steaks and stuff and hang out. And if you don't have to drive or nothing like that the next day, and I don't have nothing to do next day, we can get some Coronas and some Dos Equis and stuff, because that's what I like drinking. Never on a load and never before I'm driving, and I never drive while I'm intoxicated. So I paid $70 for the CDL, and I paid for 13 of them. Oh, Jacob, you spend a lot of money on people's CDLs, bro. You spend a lot of money on it. Jacob, you really are the best. See that? Look at all the love Jacob gets right there. Mr. Grumpy himself. Well, just got done with my shift, about to eat some dinner and pass out. Hey, later, Trucker Mush. Man, I like your videos, bro. I keep watching them. I think you're doing amazing work with them, too. You take care. Jacob says, yeah, my dad will... Oh, he didn't say my dad. He said, yeah, my deal was trifecta, and I'll pay for your CDL. Then along as you passed, we went out to dinner. Later, Trucker Mesh. But yeah, Jacob hooked it up. You know, Jacob was an awesome PSD instructor. Jacob, he probably would have put me to shame out here if he did only PSDs. He probably put me to shame. He has a lot of passion in this. Like, I could see him going up and beyond. I could see him coming out with like his own like study guide for when you got off his truck. It would probably have the layout of all the macros and what they did and how to use them and what to use them for. I could see him coming out with a whole sheet on your logs, how to run them and everything. And I could see that he would have a whole packet of like paper logs, how to do paper logs with step-by-step instructions. Like, Jacob has a lot of passion for what he was doing. Unfortunately, now he left to become a solo driver, or a local driver, so he could be home more. You know, that was a loss of a good person right there for Brian. We lost a good person to another company right there. But hey, family comes first, so he went home to be with his family. And Jacob said he only did PSD when he was, for a little bit, when he was company. My thoughts is my trainer. Let's see, read what you said. My thoughts is if my trainer stands out in the code training me and I trifecta, I buy the dinner. Hey, shoot, that works too. I've had students do that before. I've also had students, they I stand out there in the freezing cold all day long for 2 or 3 days, and then afterwards, after their test and they trifecta, I don't even get a thank you. You know, they don't appreciate it. Like, I was like, wow, I was out there in the freezing cold for all those days, and at the end of the day, he's all like, they're like pretty much like never gonna talk to him again. So, you know, I can't hold it against them. Maybe they're just too excited about trifecta and they want to go tell their family or something. So, you know, that's twisted out there in the freezing cold. Yep, I'll stand out there in the freezing cold. Or I'll get to like, I'll have you start doing some offsets where I can sit in the truck in the heat so I can get some heater for a while. Sometimes I'll be in the truck getting warm again, and then I'll get back out there. But the day I have to do the test, like tomorrow's Zach's test. Tomorrow I'm going to be standing out there in the cold because I have to make sure as soon as he hits that line, I hit the whistle. You know, we're doing a real live test tomorrow. Take him to get glasses. Sarah's the reason I got glasses. Let me tell you a story about how I ended up with glasses, because I didn't know. Driving Sarah to the, it was when she was pregnant with our daughter Kylie. I drove her to the hospital, like a checkup, and I said, hey, what's that sign say right there? And she was all like, you can't see that sign? And I was like, no, I can't see that sign. She said, you need glasses. So we kept on going. I was like, forget it, she ain't gonna read me the sign, I'm gonna go over here. So we're driving around. I finally find a place without a sign to park. We park there. We go in, you know, do the ultrasound or whatever we were there that day. She gets in the car to drive, and then she was all like, I'm driving. I was like, okay, that's weird. So she drives me straight to the eye doctor, and she's all like, get out the car. I said, nah, I ain't getting out the car. I don't need glasses. She said, you're getting your eyes checked. I said, I'm not getting my eyes checked because I don't need glasses. Said, it's not happening. She's like, we're not leaving until you get out the car and get them checked. I said, fine. Boom. I slammed the door. I was like, I'm going to go past this test. I went straight in there. They want to blow that air in the eye. I said, no, I'm not here for that. Don't blow no air in my eye for whatever. I said, just give me the eye test. I need to go. And I went in there, got the eye test done. Flunked it. Flunked it pretty bad. So now I have glasses. But you know, it happens. You get old, that's what you need. Glasses. Helps you see. Well, that's how I ended up with glasses, is because my wife bullied me into going to the eye doctor. She says facts. Yeah, that is facts. That's what happened. Now look at me, I wear glasses every day. Update from the shop in Pittston. If you're in the Pittston area, I just got a message saying that the tractor shop's available for appointments, that they're empty in there. So, hey, if you need your truck worked on and you're close to Pittston, they don't have nothing better to do, so bring that truck in there and put it in there. Frank gave me some vape juice that was horrible today too. I put it in here, ruined a coil just with the juice. Where's it at? This stuff right here, this stuff was horrible. Comes in a pill bottle. I should have knew anything that comes in a pill bottle is not going to be good. Comes in a pill bottle. It has a happy face on it with a tear. Sure did make me tear up how nasty this stuff was. Frank said it was the best stuff in the world. Got a little jar of this stuff. It's not good. The name of it is Ugly Butter. Horrible. But I do like this little cleaning wipe it came with thing. I think it's pretty cool. Bloody happy face with a tear. I can use that to clean my glasses. You know. Peanut butter and custard vape juice, huh? I do the same one. But yeah, Frank gave me this stuff. Hated it, like, for reals. I'm just gonna give it away to somebody. That's what I should do. Like what most YouTubers do is hey, whenever I get 10,000 subscribers, I will send you a bottle of ugly butter vape juice. Anyone down? Yeah, he got his truck fixed and he actually picked up a student. Jesus, we went out to eat last night, hung out, man. We went, you know, Frank likes to eat, man. Frank fed me breakfast yesterday, woke me up, fed me breakfast. I ate breakfast. Then dinner, he was all like, let's go eat again, Chinese buffet. I can never ever stop eating when I'm with Frank. Frank loves to eat. Frank really loves to eat. But yeah, he got a student. He said he's happy with them. They left. I mean, pretty cool dude. I think he said he was like 55 years old or something like that, 52. Man, he looked young. Like, I didn't know he was that old. I was like, wow. It's like, I'm finally not the oldest person at the table. And I'm 35. I'm 35 for anyone that cares. Like, I'm 35, so I'm not that old. But, you know, a lot of these, like, my student's 21. He was telling me how old his mom was. She's 40. I was like, God, your mom is 5 years, just 5 years older than me? Wow, I'm getting old. But yeah, man, I've just been kicking it here. I ran into my student Adam a while ago. Man, Adam was a pretty cool student of mine. I ran into him. I came off the elevator after my shower, doors open. Boom, I look over. I'm all like, say it ain't so. That's Adam. I started walking towards him. He looked up at me, smiled real big. He's like, jumps up, man, we hug, we talk for a while. You know, it was real good to see him. I had to get his number because when I got a new phone, I lost all my students' numbers and a whole bunch of people's numbers. Like, I lost a whole bunch of numbers. I wasn't expecting that, so I lost a lot of people. Yeah, Rod. Yeah, Reed. Have a good night, bro. Catch me some other time. But yeah, where was I at? Oh, I squirreled on myself. But yeah, I saw Adam and it was good. He told me that he's on a dedicated load that goes from New York to Canada and back and forth. He goes back and forth, New York to Canada. And in revenue, he's making about anywhere from, like, I want to say he said 6 to, maybe, no, it was 4 to 9 grand a week in revenue. So, like, he said that he's doing great. He said it's more to the 9 side mostly, but every once in a while it's closer to it's under 9. But he said he's been bringing home, he said after everything's paid, he's been bringing home about $3,000 a week. So I mean, like 3 to 4 grand a week. So like, man, that's awesome. You know, he's doing great. It's good to see one of my students, you know, especially Adam. Adam was a great guy, like really good guy. Like, my wife may have know him from what I'm about to say, but he had a bad time on TNT. Him and his TNT trainer was getting into it. So he called me, and I was with my family. I hit the speaker on my phone because I was driving in my wife's car. And I was all like, what's up, man? And he was all like, oh, I don't know how to deal with this situation with me and my trainer. It's not going good. We're getting into it, blah, blah, blah. He started telling me the situation. His trainer starts yelling at him. I'm all like, hey, dude, just call me back later, you know. Well, he gets up, go in the back, get away from his trainer, which he shouldn't have. I don't think he should have called me right in front of his trainer. That's kind of confrontational. It's like taking his trainer's power away. Hey, you're calling somebody else to talk about me? Like, get advice? I'm your trainer. So anyways, he goes in the back. His trainer slams on the brake, and they were in a shipper. They were moving at like 5 miles an hour, real slow. So what Adam told me happened is all of a sudden he hit the gas, so he fall kind of back to the bunk, and then all of a sudden he slammed on the brake, and Adam flew up and hit the dash. And like, I heard it all on my phone. He started yelling, hey man, what were you doing? What were you doing? And you could hear his trainer. His trainer straight up said, if you're not going to answer me and listen to me when I'm talking to you, then that's going to happen. You need to listen to me when I say something. I'm all like, what? Shoot, I was mad. Like, I was mad. I was like, Adam, I said, get off the phone, get your stuff off the truck. I said, call the fleet manager, tell him you need a new trainer, tell him what happened. And then, shoot, I wrote an email to my fleet manager, and I don't even think they did nothing to the guy, to tell you the truth. I think that they swept it under the rug. He was actually a guy on the fleet I was on at the time, and I talked to the fleet manager, and he was all like, he's one of my best trainers. I was all like, dude, I was on the phone when this happened. He goes, don't worry, I sent it to the right people. I sent it to the right people. So I really doubt anything happened to it. I think that the fleet managers kind of just swept it under the table or whatever. I don't know what happened. I can't tell you what happened. My fleet manager did tell me that he was probably not going to be able to train again, but he had to do his job and report it to the right department. And I had Adam report it, and I had Adam report it to Human Resources, not just the fleet manager. So, you know, I even wrote him a copy of like my statement on the whole thing. But I mean, it was bad. Like, my wife and my kids heard that, and my kids were all like, Daddy, is he okay? Is he okay? I'm all like, I was just like, I don't even know what to say. I said, yeah, he's fine. Nothing happened, kids. You know. My wife's like, can you believe that? I was like, no, I can't believe that. That's crazy. You know, that's ridiculous. I was furious though. Like, I was so mad about that. Jesus, he'll be in Springfield on February 26th. Hey, maybe I need to get back for something else around February, that time frame. So I might be there, Jesus. I might be there around that time. Nick says, Twisted, how long have you had your truck? I noticed that it's an older model and was wondering when the company driver gets to turn in the truck for another one. Okay, I have had this truck since I've had this truck for 2 years. After my wreck with my last truck, they gave me this truck. So I've had this truck about 2 years. I'm lucky that no one's bought it yet, and they call me to the terminal and take it from me because I hate moving trucks. But pretty soon, I already checked. I got with Success Leasing, and I said, hey, can you tell me the date that this truck is to be sold, or whenever it's up, the lease or whatever's up? And they told me it's going to be September. So I know between now and September, I'm going to have to get out of this truck. So I'm hoping it's closer to September. But if it's before September, so be it. But I really, really hate moving trucks. I mean, I know this truck. I know the turning radius of this truck. I know everything about this truck. Like, I know that this truck's never really been into the shop for anything major. Like, I really don't want to let it go. I only have like 250,000 miles on this truck. So whoever buys this truck is going to have a nice truck, because I've taken care of all the maintenance. It's only been in it's only been in 3 accidents, 3 reported three accidents. It was parked, and a guy doing a U-turn in a whole bunch of empty spots out there, didn't decide to do it in the middle of all the spots, and he did a U-turn and hit the hood of my truck as I just laid down to go to sleep. So he messed up the hood. I had to get that fixed. The other accident was the second one. I was parked in a truck stop. A guy was backing in across from me. I was in the back, sitting there. I was looking at it. I told my wife, I said, that dude looks like he's gonna hit me. And sure enough, boom, he hit me. I was like, what the heck? I was all like, man, I didn't even have time to do nothing. So that's the second one. And then, of course, Zach hit the deer. Boom. Oh, actually, I take that back. One more time, a certain somebody was backing into a spot, and I told him, I said, hey, man, chill out. Like, chill out. Let me guide you through this. And I said, I'm going to watch the other side. And I guess he couldn't hear me whenever I was all like, hey, hey, hey. But he hit a concrete island across from the spot. So, like, he couldn't hear me or whatever. I was all like, hey, stop, stop, stop. And he barely bumped it. And I was like, stop, stop. You got to pull forward. Next thing I know, he hits the gas and I was like, okay. So the side step over there is brand new. So, I mean, like, somebody's going to get a heck of a truck right here. I mean, other than that, like, I haven't had no real work on it that I can think of. It would be cool if Brian gave you all points for turning in a clean and maintained truck. All of the trucks are maintained though. We got certain times that they need oil changes, blah 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 blah. Oil change, chassis lube, APU, you know, whatever. There's certain times that they need that. If you go into a terminal and it's past due, you ain't getting out of that terminal till it's done. So like they're all maintenance. But yeah, turning it in clean, that's another story. Like I'm turning in, this is a pretty clean truck right here. My luck, somebody's looking at this freaking channel right here and they're all like, oh, that guy says that he has a clean truck. They're going to zoom in on my truck number. They're going to be like, he said that his truck's running good and he only said it had that many miles. They're going to zoom in on my truck number, buy my truck. I'll be like, wow. Nick says, my grandfather had a custom, I think he meant Pete's, with hardwood floors, polished them every week, OCD. Man, that's nice, I bet. Yeah, my old teammate, he used to polish the rims, polish the steps, all that good stuff. Like, he would keep this plate, he would keep our truck looking good. But, like, I'm not, like, wasting my time on polishing all that stuff. It's not my truck, so, you know. OTC, what's up, man? Did I get to choose the color of my truck? No. Nope. I'm company. I really don't care what color my truck is, really. I mean, I would, if I had to pick, my truck would be red. I would definitely have a red truck. So, yeah, I wish. Oh. Jesus, you're like the only one, like, you're one of the only one that's seen my truck at the worst. Jesus got on my truck in between cleaning times, and he said, hey man, your truck ain't that bad. And he goes, I don't think it's dirty at all in here. He's looking around. He goes, it's not bad in here. I was like, trust me, this place is dirty, dude. So yeah, Jesus seen a dirty truck. I was waiting to clean it till I got out over the road. I was on home time. We'll just say that, Jesus. But there's another reason my truck was dirty. Do you get to choose your own graphics for the truck? How does that work? No, you don't get to choose your own graphics. Like on company, it comes with what you got, what they got. So some people you can take it to the Stars and Stripes and get it redone, and they're going to charge you. You're going to pay for that, you know. So I could go get my own graphics done and laid on the truck and everything. It's going to cost me some money, and I might do that whenever I get a brand new truck next time, or whenever I get 100,000 miles and I become the million miles. Whenever I get my million miles with this company, which was going to take a long time, they let you order your truck, and I'll probably get that one decked out, like graphics and stuff on it for sure, for sure. But like, I don't know. Pretty much the prime and polish is the reason most people get their stuff stickered. Probably, I think. You know, they like to do that competition. I heard a lot of people call it the best sticker award, but you know, it is what it is. They should let company drivers choose the color. They buy in bulk, so like, could you imagine if you had a company, if everyone could pick their own colors, and every single person out there picked a red truck, how boring your fleet would be. We would look like US Express, where we only have red trucks, or Swift, where you have only white trucks, or mainly white trucks. You know, I think Prime does. I like how Prime does it and just has a whole bunch of colors. You know, that way you get different graphics and stuff, and they look different. I like the green Freightliner I like the lime green Freightliner for some reason. I think the lime green Freightliner is ugly. I think the lime green Peterbilt looks awesome. Lime green is my favorite color. Oh, wait till you see the lime green Peterbilt. My friend has one. I love that color. The lime green Freightliner, I don't know, the shade is off. It's like too dark or something. But Peterbilt is real bright and it pops. Jesus, I want purple, man. I will. If you get a purple truck, I will trade you. I don't want that Pepto-Bismol purple. Don't give me that. But I would love to have like that prime purple, that dark purple. Give me that truck. I want that truck, because you give me the purple one, I'm definitely gonna turn it into the Gravedigger truck for reals. I'm gonna put all the Gravedigger graphics. It's gonna look like Gravedigger. You know, I want to get some of that plastic paint dip or whatever to even make the rims that lime green color, like for the Gravedigger. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, the Ultra Loft. I would suggest having an Ultra Loft too. If I was doing teaming and stuff like that, like training too, I would have to have an Ultra Loft. I mean, a truck's a truck as long as it's not breaking down all the time and in the shop. That's one thing I noticed that's bad with those Internationals, is they break down and they are in the shop all the time. The deer guards, you don't like the deer guards? Well, I'll tell you what, man. After we hit that deer the other day, I like the deer guard. Jacob, my trainer Jacob, hit 2 deer, and every time he had to get his whole front replaced, and he had a deer guard, but it hit in the middle. I got lucky, and my license plate punched that deer. Boom. Yeah, that is a good idea, Jesus. Jesus, you're going to have your face on the side of yours, man. You're going to be like this. With a crown and everything. With all these lights coming down. Wearing like the Virgin Mary robe and stuff. That's what your truck sticker is going to be. I heard the 2020 Internationals are way better ones. The mechanics for Springfield. I don't know about that. I haven't heard of anyone. I don't know anyone that has one of those 2021s, really. So I couldn't tell you that. I haven't heard that. I know one of my students got an International, showed it to me, and I was all like, "Oh man, you got an International?" I said, he's all like, "What, man? It looks like a cool truck. Like it's gonna do great." I was like, "Yeah, man, cool. I hope it does do great." So, you know, I was hoping that he had a good time. He got it out the shop, out the terminal for his first load, broke down in the shop. Got it out the shop, drove it about 200 miles, broke down in the shop. Got it out the shop, drove it a little further, broke down again in the shop. He brought it back to the terminal. On the way to the terminal, broke down in the shop. Got back to the terminal, went in there, decided company wasn't for him, and he went lease just to get out of that truck because they wouldn't take him out that truck. He's all like, man, you can't give me a truck that breaks down all the time. And they're all like, hey, you got to work the kinks out. He sure did work the kinks out. He went ahead and went in there and got him a lease truck. I don't blame him. You love the interior of the Cascadia? I like the interior of this Cascadia, like this body style, because I like how the cabinets are and stuff, and like I've set up all my stuff to fit in here. Like I have drawers in this cabinet. I don't, this one right here, right next to the, behind the drive. Let's go take a look. How about that? All right. Like most people use this one right here for clothes. I got my trifecta jersey. Ow, the Pam just landed on my foot. But right here, I put these drawers in here. I got my cutting board, utensils, stuff like that. Up here, I got an extra pan, tin foil. Uh-oh, my wife needed tin foil the other day when I was home, and I forgot to stop at the store, and it looks like I got a tin foil in the truck. But also, like, I keep food in here. Like, why not have a bunch of food to eat in the truck? You know, if you need to stop, if you want to save money, it starts with not eating out as much. And I need to get another pressure cooker so I can really start cooking on the truck. But like, hey, got the jalapeno tuna fish. That's some good stuff. Since Chris is in here, I wish I had a can of those tamales that you like, Chris. But unfortunately, I do not have a can of those tamales. But yeah, like I said, like, I have all this food. This is my jersey for Trifecta Day. That's where I keep all my food and stuff. So I like that. I got a cabinet over here that I keep more food. Gotta have some Doritos. I opened the bag upside down. Chris, you're watching this. Look, did it again. Chris would be real mad if you opened the bag upside down. But whenever I used to cook, like, look at all those spices. That's all the spices and stuff. Got a big container of some rice. You know, we made a lot of Chinese fried rice, chicken fried rice and stuff. Had to have a lot of rice. Still got the rice, but I need to get me another Instapot. I got extra mustard and stuff like that in there, you know. And then I even got a container right here to store some more stuff in. So I mean, I like how this truck is set up. This one does not have the ladder to get up on top bunk. That's another thing. You have that ladder to get on top bunk for your student. On this truck, you don't have that. You have some steps where you step, and jump on top up there. In the new truck, I would have a ladder right here. Guess what? It would block my microwave. I couldn't have my microwave attached to the bottom of the top bunk anymore. So, I mean, like, I'm so used to this truck. If you take it away from me, you know, what the heck? Like, where am I going to put all my stuff? I'll have to get in a new truck and figure it out, is what I need to do, so I know how to store stuff in that truck. I've seen my good friend Orrin Jones. He has a refrigerator that goes from like up here to the floor in that new truck. Like, it's a big refrigerator. Definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna have that big refrigerator. You know how much refrigerated food you can do? So I mean, like, that would help out a lot, for reals. You know, and like, that would be a plus to that truck. But, you know, I don't have that. I don't have that yet, so sooner or later I'll have that. There's my light. That's how y'all were having light on my face while I was sitting down talking, is the TV. I just turn on the Xbox so it'll shine light in my face. That's another thing that I like about this truck, is whenever I'm doing, like if I was doing TNT, I could sit right here in the driver's seat, and really I could shut this curtain and have my TV in the front. so I could play my video games or watch movies and stuff and not wake up my teammate back there. And then also, if you want to move the TV in the back, swing the curtain back across. Bam. Truck driving down the road, you can watch TV or play video games while the truck's running down the road. So, I mean, like, in the new truck, I don't know how to mount the TV. You know? Where did I get the TV mounted? I mounted this TV. I did mount this TV. And I mounted it to the sidewall. Pretty much I got this idea from Jacob, my trainer Jacob. Jacob had the exact same mounts, and that's where I got it from. So this is what me and Chris did. Why are you splitting barbecue chips everywhere? Oh, man. Okay, if you buy the really cheap bags of chips, I'll tell you what Chris is talking about. If you buy those really cheap bag of chips going up and down the mountains and stuff, they pop open. Next thing you know, you have chips all in your cabinet. We used to keep them at the top of this side. So we had a bag that popped open going up and down the mountain. Next thing we know, there's chips all the way in there. I said, Chris, what did you do? Did you open the chips, man, and not close the bag? He goes, no. He goes, you opened the chips. I said, I didn't open the chip. So that's how that ended up. Jesus said that he hates. What did you say, Jesus? Oh, Jesus says he's eating salads on the road. Nick says he hates the ladder. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the ladder either. Like, for reals. I really don't want the ladder. Really, to tell you the truth, I don't want the ladder. Where did I get the TV mount? I got it online. Pretty much I wanted one that I can mount flat on the wall. Let's see. It's mounted to the wall right here. So I had to get one that was... Man, I don't even know if I can get enough light on here. But pretty much with my TV mount, is it's mounted to the wall right there. And I had to get a long enough one that would come out past the edge. So see this next part? This next part swivels back and forth. That allows you to bring it to the front or the back. And then it actually swivels here too on the back of the TV, so it'll go back and forth. The long bar goes across. So that's how it works. You know, I had to find a mount like that to work on this truck. That's how it works. Prime trucks don't have internet. You have to either use your phone or a hotspot. Yeah, Prime don't have internet on their trucks. Like, you're gonna have to have your hotspot or your phone or whatever. You're gonna have to have your own internet. So, and the paper towel holder won't work in the new trucks either. Yeah, that's true too. My paper towel holder I use up here in the front. This is right above the middle of the truck. It's a paper towel holder. It's just a bungee cord through the middle of it. It's not going to work in a new truck either. So, you know, that's another thing that I'm going to have to figure out. And I like that there because, like, if you're driving or you're the passenger, you can just reach up there and grab you a paper towel, you know? So, I don't know. Lieutenant Dan. Look at that name. Lieutenant Dan. Stopping in Allerton. However the heck you say that. PA anytime soon? I don't know. I don't plan on where I go. I do not have any say in where I go. I just get a load and I go with it. But yeah, that's a cool name. I like your name, Lieutenant Dan. You got... Oh, man. Oh, try to blow an O-ring, but didn't happen. There's too much air right now. I got the heater blowing right here, so because it is cold outside. It's probably in the teens again, if I had to guess. But yeah, I'm gonna miss this truck whenever I lose this truck. It's Dan ice cream. It's Dan. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, whenever they finally do get me out of this truck and I gotta go to that new body style, I'm gonna be lost. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do. I'm probably gonna have to throw away some of my stuff and fit it all in. And it never fails. You find something in your truck and you're like, what is this? Trash. Throw it away. A couple days later, you're gonna be looking for that exact same thing. Man, I really needed that. Ever consider going flatbed? I've almost went flatbed. I did almost go flatbed. Trying to get away from my fleet manager, I was gonna go flatbed. You know, my thing is, I look at flatbed and I look at like what they look like whenever they're older, and like a lot of the flatbed guys are broken down whenever they get older. A lot of the reefer guys are so overweight whenever I see those guys that they can barely walk in the truck stops. Like, you see, I know some of y'all seen those guys. They can barely walk. They always got the biggest cup they can, and they go in there and fill it up with soda to the brim, and that's all they drink is those big sodas. As soon as it's empty, they fill it up again. So yeah. "2019s are nice." Yeah. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. That's what I used to always say whenever I would go to bed and my TNT student would be driving. Jesus, take the wheel tonight, man. Take the wheel, Jesus. All right, Kenworth Rider, man, you have a good night, bro. I enjoyed you being in here. Yeah, I see you changed your name. I already knew who that was as soon as I seen the name, Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel. That's what I would say to my students whenever I was doing TNT, and I'd be like, oh man, this dude might kill me tonight. I'd be like, every night I lay there in bed and I'd be like, man, please, Jesus, just take the wheel tonight. Don't let nothing happen. It ain't nothing to wake up and truck driving horrible, and you come up front and see a student driving with 2 knees and 2 different phones in his hand texting at the same time. Like, what? Hey, if y'all haven't subscribed to Jesus Take the Wheel, go ahead and subscribe to him. I think once he gets 100 subscribers, he's going to start putting out videos. It's worth a try, Jesus. It's worth a try. You're up to 6 subscribers since the last live, bro. I mean, they're gonna subscribe to you enough, and you're gonna have to put out some videos. I can already see it coming. And you're funny, Jesus. And guess what? You got the if you finally learn Spanish, dude, you can talk Spanish in your videos and get Spanish followers. You know? I go everywhere. Okay, Nick asks, is I'm only stuck out in the Northeast, or do I go west? I go everywhere. I go to California about 2-3 times a year. So, like, I go to Salt Lake City and stuff like that. I go to Oregon, you know. I go wherever they send me. I'm all over the road still. What you need to go to Walmart and Best Buy for? You got a cell phone. That's all you need. Man, y'all are on Junior today. Look at that. Another. Yeah, you can still Junior subscribers. Junior Honduras. You know what's funny? What's funny is Junior, he always has students, but I've never seen him on the training pad. Even the year I made top 15 instructor of the year, that year, I never seen him on this training pad. I've seen him at the terminal, but I've never seen him at the training pad. Not once. I don't know. Super single or duels? Oh man, that's the ultimate fight right there. Whatever they put on my truck, super single or duels, whatever they put on my truck. I see why they went with the duels. The super singles. They went with the super singles because it's a lot cheaper. You blow out one of these tires, it's a lot cheaper than buying those super singles. You know, the thing I like about the super singles, I've never drove a truck with them, but from what I can see is you blow one of those tires, you can still take it to the truck stop down the road and get it fixed instead of just sitting there on the side of the road. So I don't know. How home time at Prime? Okay, home time at Prime is pretty much, if you're a company guy, this is the rule that they have out. If you're the company guy, you can only take off 4 days consecutive. If you're a lease guy, you're running your own business, you take off as long as you want. To a certain point. Certain point, they're going to be like, look, you're not coming back, we're going to come get the truck. You know, like I just said before, you know, yes, they have the rule of every week you're out, you earn 1 day home time. I don't go by that. I've never heard anyone ever say, I'm out of home time days. I've never, ever heard anyone say, I'm out of home time days. I never even heard anyone say that that's been an issue. But if you need to take off longer, get with your fleet manager. Hey, man, I need to be off a week. Tell them what's going on. Every 100,000 miles as a company, you earn a week of vacation. So I usually just cash mine out. I'm all like, give me that extra 700 because I'll go ahead and take off a week anyways. I saw one video and he was battling one of his students, so I couldn't end his video fast enough. Oh wow. Yeah, he was belittling. Okay, Jesus said he saw one of his videos and he was belittling his student, so he couldn't end the video fast enough. You know, I don't know the word for it. Arrogant? We'll say arrogant. Cat, diesel, or pack car? Hey, anything that doesn't break down. You know, Detroit. Yeah, I knew you meant Detroit. I read the top one. It doesn't matter. Anything that doesn't break down. Give me something that doesn't break down. I hear a lot of good things about the Cat, though. Really. Lots of good things about the Cat. Long nose or fuel efficient. The long nose look great. They look great, man. Like, I would feel like a real trucker driving a long nose. I mean, I am a real trucker, but I would feel like one of those super truckers driving a long nose. They look cool. But I'd rather have this Cascadia because guess what? Better turning ratio. I can put it in places those guys can't, you know. So right there, I'm going with like more mobility and backing and stuff right there. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I like my Freightliner also over Peterbilt, is because guess what? I can get into some spots some of those Peterbilts can't, or that those Peterbilts are going to have trouble getting into. Why don't you go flatbed? dude, I like eating a lot, and like I gain a lot of weight, and I'm getting old, and flatbed's a lot of work. And my main thing with flatbed, besides all the BS that I just said, is you're strapping down all this stuff, all this heavy stuff, and I'm a real paranoid person that thinks that it's gonna fall off the truck. Even though I got all these straps on and all these chains, I'm real paranoid it's gonna fall off. Like, I hate moving with a pickup truck, because you put all the stuff in it and you tie it all down, and I hate that stuff because I think it's gonna fly off or fall off the back. You know, every time I moved with a pickup truck, except for one time, nothing's fell off. The one time it did, it was a dog house that I had on there, one of those dog glue, the wind caught it, and it freaking ripped out the ropes and skidded down the road. We went back and got it. There wasn't no problems. It didn't hit nothing, but still, like, flatbed, man, I'm so scared about stuff falling off the truck. You hear the suicide coils and all that stuff. I don't want to pull nothing called a suicide coil. I don't want something that can roll through the truck and kill me. Or, like, I'm thinking of those Final Destination movies. I'm thinking a pipe coming. You driving down the road and you have to hit the brakes too hard, and a pipe comes through you and, like, through the steering wheel and out the front of the truck, and it's stuck, and you're stuck in there. You're like one of those little Chinese meat things with the stick through it. That's what you look like. Like, come on, man. Answer the question, but does max out at 4 days, and will Prime fire me for sitting home longer? If you're home, Chris, how many days were you home before they let you go? Because that happened to Chris. Awesome looking Peterbilt. I was saying, don't mess up, man. Yeah, Jesus, you back in next to those nice trucks. You got, woo-wee, you don't want to hit one of them. That guy might come out swinging. You know, he's going to be mad if you hit his nice truck. Yeah, yeah, Nick, you're right. Your fleet manager can work something out. Into his co-driver. I saw one on the highway last week. A flatbed guy had some steel beams, and one of them was about to come out and be in his co-driver. Oh man, yeah. Shoot, I'd hate to get hit by one of those steel beams too. Yeah, it's up to your, like Chris said, it's up to your fleet manager, but you know, Prime says you can only take off 4 days. But your fleet manager's cool, man. They want to make you happy for the most part. Like, they kind of look out for you on home time. They understand you when it's home time. It's home time. You know, that wasn't the problem with my last fleet manager. It wasn't about home time. It was other issues. So like, he didn't, like, I took off 5 days before because I wanted to take off 5 days. I took off 6 days because I wanted 6 days off. He would complain about it and act like he was mad, but he never once said, hey, you can only take off 4 days. Prime allows 4 days. He never did that to me. You won't be fired, but the company, they need your truck running, so you might have to turn it in and get another one when you get back. Yes, I heard of that too. So, I've heard of people having to turn in their truck because they needed like 2 weeks off. So they had them turn in their truck so that truck could make money those 2 weeks. And when they came back, they got another truck. Chris says, I think it was 14 days or 21 days and they'll let you go. I had a student that she went home for a month and a half or something like that. A month and a half, and that's when they let her go. So yeah, if you take off too long, they're gonna let you go because they think that you quit. They're all like, man, that dude's not coming back. We're paying for his insurance. You know, we're a business. We gotta cut the line somewhere. Peace of mind, the wind. Be in your cells and be safe. For real, be safe, definitely. I think it was 14. Twist, did you ever think about going lease? Yeah, I thought about it before. I almost went lease before. I think about it every once in a while, but you know, I like what I do right now a lot. Like, I really, really like what I'm doing. I'm happy with what I'm doing, so why go lease and mess that up? I know I could do lease, but you know, I got kids and a family at home. I don't want to take that risk of not making a paycheck, or you know, having to find my own insurance and pay out a lot of money for insurance and stuff. So I mean, like, it's kind of not good. Like, that's the part of lease I don't like, is stuff like that. And then they like, and you know, there's some things that I think Prime should take their percentage out, like you know, they should take their percentage out of most things, but I don't think that they should take their percentage out of the fuel cost. I think whatever you're paid in fuel to do that load, or in tolls, that's your money, and Prime shouldn't get a percentage of that. So like, there's a lot of stuff I looked into on it, and I'm better off company. I really am. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome for everything. Keep asking the questions. Like, you might ask a question that somebody else wants to know, but they don't want to speak out and ask that question. So when you ask me a question, I'm going to give you the best answer I can. And you know, maybe somebody else wanted to know the exact same thing that you asked me. So like, I appreciate your question. I really do. Also, I don't want to work for Swift because I can't stand for Stevie Wonder's install for trucking. Swift's the best in crash. You know, Swift has there's bad people in every trucking company that's not safe drivers, and you know, Swift has to is at the blunt of everyone's jokes. So yeah, I kind of like, once I got to the Stevie Wonder, I kind of was like, oh, I know where he's going. I didn't want to read the rest of that. But what he's doing a play on word on Swift, and you know, I kind of don't want to put down Swift like that, like, you know, because someday Prime's going to be that big, you know, Prime's going to be real big, and we're going to have our unsafe drivers. I mean, it's already happening. Like, I've seen a post on Facebook where a Swift and a Prime truck hit each other. And they said, look, it's the worst two companies merging finally. And I was all like, oh, wow, we're finally on the same level. Like, so, you know, the bigger you are, the more chances of seeing a truck wreck and that truck being involved in it. So, like, I'm not really trying to down Swift too much, you know. Being happy is what matters. Exactly, Nick. Being happy is what matters. I used to be the guy that said, hey, no matter how much you don't like your job, it's a job. Go to work. I don't care if you hate that job or not. It's a job. Go do it. But, like, honestly, now I'm like, man, I'm so happy. Like, I'm doing a job that I'm happy at. Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm enjoying my job. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying my time. You know? So, I mean, like, I wouldn't be doing, if I wasn't happy at Prime, I really wouldn't be doing these videos, because I wouldn't want to promote Prime at all. I would just be like, yeah, you know what, forget YouTube. But like, I'm really proud to work for Prime. Take a lot of pride in it. I hope the insurance at Prime is top notch for what they charge. Stomach dropped when I saw the weekly cost. Okay, Nick, the weekly cost, I don't know what you've seen, but it used to be like, I want to say like $90 or something like that. I would have to look it up, but I mean, that was like $90 a week. But you know, that's not too bad, really. It's not bad at all if you think about it, because it's at the state. Whenever I worked for the state of Texas, it's the same insurance that we had. It was the exact same. And at the state of Texas, they were charging me more for that insurance than Prime is charging me when you add up all the weeks. So I'm thinking, I look at it like, man, I got a great deal for that insurance. We're paying $70 a week. Yeah, we are paying, my wife just confirmed that we're paying $70 a week. But also, after your first year, it goes down in price, so that's why it ended up at $70. But I think it started out at like $90. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. But, you know, it's good insurance. It really is. Like, I don't have a problem with it at all, you know. It was good when it was at the state. It was good whenever I got it at Prime because it's the same. Same company and everything. And you know, what they say about state benefits is you can't get better than the state. Or that's what they used to say about Texas. For the first year by myself, they said it was like $100 plus a week. I don't know. They might have. Well, if they would have changed it, they would have made everyone's change. But I don't know. You should have got a packet whenever you passed your test. Like Jesus probably has that packet right now. But there's a packet and it has all the information in it. You need, like, it has everything. It's your health benefits package. Go through it and read it for yourself. See how much it really is. Chris says at his local job he's paying $50 a week just for himself. Mine is me, my wife, and my kids for $90 a week. Let me clear that up because I got my wife and my kids and me included in that one. Okay, my wife said yes, it was $100 the first year. He paid more than $1,000 every month when he was working at the state. Yeah, I paid a lot of money when I worked at the state. So that's like $400 a month, and I used to pay $1,000. Same insurance, cheaper. That's because Texas is the greatest state in the U.S. Jesus, that's a wrong statement right there. Texas is the best country in the world. That's what it is. Texas is the greatest country in the world. I love Texas. I'm proud to be from Texas. Like, I'm a Texan first, and then I'm a U.S. citizen. But I'm a Texan first. Don't forget it. But hey, a fun fact about Texas is the only state that can legally fly the American flag and the Texas flag at the same height. Because when we joined, we made sure we got that right. You know, that's one thing that you can't take from Texas. I never even knew it till I went to these other states, and I was like, why is their flags lower than the rest of the flags? What's going on here? And I looked it up, and that's what I found out, that Texas is the same height, that we fought for that right to join the U.S. Hey, cool. You know, those bragging rights. Can any of y'all states say that y'all can legally fly the flag the same height as the United States flag? Nope. Have I been brake checked? Yep, I've been brake checked. I've been brake checked by a semi. You know, Prime's the slowest driving truck, slowest driving fleet, they say. So I had a guy get mad. We were on a 2-lane road for a while. Guess he got mad once it opened up to a 4-lane. He went past me, got over in front of me, and then slammed on his brakes. There wasn't nothing in front of me, so when he passed me, there wasn't nothing up there, and he slammed on his brakes. I had to slam on my brakes. I almost got a hard brake. I hit my brakes and kind of went a little bit over, and he was just being a jerk, man. He did it again. Finally, I just slowed down real slow and let him get way up the road, and I was all like, get away from me. So I just slowed down. You know, I thought about taking the footage from my camera and sending it to his company, but I was like, you know, whatever, man. He didn't hit me. I didn't get a hard break. You know, I'm fine. You know, he wants to be dumb. He can be dumb. He probably went and wrecked his truck somewhere for karma, or got, I don't know, something. Only steers. Oh wow. Yeah, I know where that's going. But yeah, that is a good movie. Well, move to Texas. It's great. Texas doesn't even have their state tax, so I mean, the land is the land is worth more money in Texas, so it's really expensive there. The land, buying a house, the taxes and stuff on your property, they're a lot higher because that land's worth so much. Being company, do I get a fuel bonus? Yeah, I get a fuel bonus. It's per load you get a fuel bonus. But I found out that me and Chris did the research. Chris wanted to get the fuel bonus at first, thought it was worth it. Me and Chris barely made a little bit more on the check to get the fuel bonus. But we ran more miles if we didn't even worry about the fuel bonus, and we kept the truck top speed. You ask Chris how fast he's going, he's always like, it won't go no faster. That's how fast I'm going. So we would get way more mileage. It added up to more money than the fuel bonus. If they would ever fix the fuel bonus to be worth more than the extra miles you could get, then the fuel bonus would be worth it, and I would be more worried about my fuel bonus. But until they make the fuel bonus enough money to be more than the amount of miles you could run that week, then I don't care about no fuel bonus till they do that. Honestly, like, you know, if the load has time, then yeah, we'll go for the fuel bonus. If there's not enough time on the, like, if there's not a whole bunch of extra time, we're gonna go the speed. Like, if it's a drop and hook, get there as soon as you can. Let's go. We're there. So yeah, the fuel bonus, you know, they've actually redone it not too long ago, and it's supposed to be better. I don't know. I still haven't looked into it since they made it better. I'm training students. I don't care. I don't care about keeping up with it too much as I should care, you know, because I get a student that he's always like, RPM's high, RPM's high, RPM. I'm like, slow down on the takeoffs, nice and easy and smooth. And they like, wrong, you know. I mean, it's killing me on the fuel mileage, getting the RPMs high. Also, at first I was like real big on, as soon as the truck stopped, turn the key off, you know, because I didn't want it running a second more than it have to. So as soon as the brake's set, turn the key off, you know. Like, I was big on saving fuel that way, but you know, I'm not paying for this fuel, so now I'm like, hey, make sure you turn the truck off. Like, I still say it. I'm all like, as soon as we stop, I'm all like, set the brakes, put it in neutral, turn it off. But used to, I'd be like, stop, turn it off now, man, you're wasting fuel. I would be like, hurry up, turn it off. You know, we're trying to save money that way, save fuel mileage that way. But now it's not, like, I'm not stressing it as much. Jesus, my trainer's lease, so I enjoy going 65. Jesus, you try and run hard. You go 65 because you're trying to get those miles out of the way. You try and get there early. Okay, you want to increase the speed limit, the speed of the governor of this trucker company. I don't see them ever raising it, because the thing is, they were doing that because of the amount of wrecks they had. So they kept on dropping the speed because they were having a lot of accidents. So they kept on dropping it. Now it's less accidents. They're having less accidents involving prime trucks. So, you know, hey, if it makes it safer out there, then go for it. I don't care what they govern this truck speed at. As long as I can get my load there on time, I don't care. I'm not trying to hurry it. Like, I'm not trying to drive super fast to get somewhere. Plus, I really don't want my students to be driving that fast. Like, most of the time, this truck right here, most of the time, it does 57. Most of the time, this truck does 57. We don't even get it over 57. If the student's really, really good, and I feel like he understands how to drive, I'll let him get into cruise control after a while, and you know, I'll let him. But you know, he has to become a safe driver before that. I want him checking the mirrors. I want him doing everything safe before we can let him go like that. I want to go to a company, but I'm afraid of what truck I'll get. And my trainer has been leased. I heard that you have to take routes that Prime says, fuel exactly where they say and how much they say. All right. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with lease guys. They say that us company guys, we're stuck on certain paths. We can't take off whenever we want. You know, there's all these things that they say. I'm gonna go either the safest way I feel or the best way for me. I don't care if it's on the route or not. I've never got in trouble for being off the route. And whenever I ask for fuel stops, yes, you do have to follow the macro 27, and it tells you where to fill up. It's going to save the company. It's going to give you the best fuel cost, and it's going to save the most money. So follow the fuel stop. If the fuel stop is way out of the way, I'm not going to that fuel stop. I'll message the dispatch and I'll say, look, I needed my macro 27 reset because that fuel stop is completely out of the way. I'm not driving out of the way to get that fuel. And pretty much he'll say, okay, that's fine. They don't want you going way out of the way to get cheaper fuel. I mean, that's affecting your load. You're not getting paid more for going way out of the way to get fuel, so, you know. We always went the route we wanted to. Yeah, Chris is right. We always went the route we wanted to. And if Chris remembers right, me and Chris, we got on the Sherry Berries load. Sherry Berries. We would get on the Sherry Berries. We would go from California, Dallas, Texas, up to Chicago and over to PA. We would drop that over there. We would get a load.
You have one unread message.
We would get a load straight back to California with an extra day on it, or 2 days. So what we would do is along the way back to California, we would get to a little bit about Oklahoma City, I think it was, and we would go down the back roads. Our route was here across the 40. We would go down the back roads, go to Lubbock, Texas, stop, go see our family for the weekend, get back in the truck, go to California, deliver that load, which put us back in time to pick up the Sherry Berry load again. We would go straight to Dallas, and we did that route for about a month and a half, month and a half, something like that. We were home, we were over the road making 5,000 to 6,000 miles a week, and on top of that, we were going home every weekend for 2 days. And guess what? Nobody ever told us nothing. Yeah. Chris is right there. He said we took 34s at home like every week, almost for a month and a half straight. Yeah. Yeah, our friends did. Chris is right. Our friends, we were talking to our friends. Oh man, they were so jealous. They're all like, man, y'all are home every week. Hey, we can't help it, man. We got hooked up. We can't help it. What do you want me to do? You want me, if I have extra time, you want me not to go home? Like, we're going to go home. You know, and we still made the loads on time, so nobody messed with us. When me and Chris, we had no service failures. So, I mean, like, you know, you get the ring. No service failures. The Prime ring. You know, it says Prime on it. So, which side says Prime? Oh, it says Prime right there. You get the nice 2-year ring for being on time for 2 years. Then they add a diamond every year. Yeah, Chris didn't stay long enough, but me and Chris, we never got no service failures. Have we ever been late to load? Yes, because of either traffic, weather, or we picked up a load that was already late. I can't tell you how many times me and Chris had to go pick up a load that was already late or repower a guy that was already late. So those loads were already late. We made sure we said, hey, this load's late before we got to it. But, you know, we would still get it there fast. I mean, I like to say that me and Chris and I, we were very dependable on getting the loads there. Like, they gave us a load, we got it there. Like, no questions asked. We did it. Yeah, and a lot of times we would repower those lease guys, and they'd be like, my truck's broke down, it won't go nowhere, it's completely broke down. And his load was to like a bad area, like a freaking horrible place. And he knew it was, so he would tell them, oh, my truck's broke down, or I'm not doing this load, or whatever. And so me and Chris would go over there and we would switch trailers. Before we could even hook up our trailer, man, that dude's already boom, gone. Supposedly his truck won't even like move really, but 5 miles an hour. He's gone. Like, what? How's that happen? Yeah, and sometimes we would have a load and we would be going on home time, and we would take it to a truck stop by our house, and another team would come repower it because we were on home time. So we would technically get an extra day off like that. We would end up getting like 6 days off because technically we were under a load. We might have had it in the truck stop for 2 days. We would have to go fill up the reefer like once a day until they came and got it, but they would come get that trailer and take off with it. And then, we're on home time that whole time. So there was that happened too, which made it better. When I was solo, did I run recaps or 34 every week? Hey, look, I'm doing this instructors thing right now, and I'm still running on recaps. I don't do no 34s. 34s cost you too much money. If you're constantly doing 8 to 9 hours a day every day and not ever taking a reset, then you're gonna do more loads per month and you're gonna do more mileage. It's kind of weird to say, and I didn't believe it till I actually done it. Work less, more money. Do you really? Like, I didn't believe that. I'm going to work less during the day and I'm going to make more money? Wow. Yeah, and you do lose it like that. The week you take a 34 is the week that you're not going to get a good check. The weeks that I've taken 34-hour breaks, it would be like one good check, one bad check. I don't like that. I want every check to be good. Running 8 hours a day, never taking a reset, good check, good check, good check, good check, good check. Plus, doing the 8s, running your timeout and doing the 8s will also let you determine whether you drive days, nights, whatever, mornings or whatever. Because guess what? Soon as you run your 8 out for the day, you're out of time. You got to set there to midnight, period. So, like, you can manage your clock on your own like that. I come off of home time and I have a full clock. That's the worst time for me. Because guess what? I have hours to drive. A fleet manager's going to be like, oh, he has hours. Go, 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 go. And like, nah, you're burning up my clock, buddy. Like, that's not good. I have to try and manage my clock, and I have to drive whenever I want to drive. If I don't have a student and I'm by myself, I like driving from midnight to 8 in the morning just because of parking. That's my favorite shift to drive. Midnight, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning till early morning hours. That's what I like. So running 8 to 9 hours, you're set then? Yeah, running 8 to 9 hours, you're set then. That's my favorite. You're set. Because what you do is take 70 and divide it by 8. What do you get? 8.4 or something, I think it was last time I did it. So like, that's between 8 and 9 hours. So you always want to keep like 3 or 4 hours extra on there. So like, I like to do like maybe 8, 7, 8, keep it like that. And then if I ever do need those extra hours on there, it's not going to hurt me bad if I have to put some extra hours on a day to make a load there, or make it more easy to get there. So yeah, if you're solo, yes, and teams, then you rush the clock to take a 34. Yeah, if you're on a team truck, you're rushing to take that. You're rushing. You don't care about 8 hours a day. If you're on a team truck, run your clock till it's dead. You're going to take a 34-hour reset. Who cares? because your truck's only going to sit there for 12 hours during a 34-hour reset. You're only going to be parked for 12 hours. The rest of the time, your teammate's going to be driving. So team truck is really the way to go to make money on the company side. Team truck or training, that's the way to go. You know, team truck, man, me and Chris, we made good money on a team truck. Like, if we didn't have all the hiccups we had, if we ran a full year of team driving, I bet me and Chris would have made like anywhere from like $75,000 to $80,000 a year. I would almost bet money on it, because he went out for his back. I went solo for a while. You know, he had surgery for a couple months. He got back on the truck. Something else happened. He went back off the truck. It went back and forth, and we still made. What'd you make a year, Chris? Like, we made like 65,000 with all the issues we had. Come on, Jesus. Hey, Jesus, if you do that, you need to get a hold of me when you go company. When you get off of that guy's truck, you need to get a hold of me. And you're gonna come over here on my fleet, Jesus. I talked to my fleet manager today. It was all positive, man. He's all like, look, man, I'm kind of wanting to be one of the top training fleets Prime has. He said he wants this. Like, it's a great feeling, man. I had to tell my student, time out. I'm talking. We're having a good time. Me and my fleet manager. I was like, oh man, I love what he's saying. Love what he's saying. So Jesus, I got you a fleet manager, man. You come to me. Some of my rolling 34s always ended up on Sunday. Hey, also, Chris, we did like to watch wrestling on Sundays. Well, guys, that's it for me. I'm gonna go play some COD. I said I was gonna play some Call of Duty. It's already 8 o'clock at night. You know, I'm missing out on Call of Duty. Hey, but oh my gosh, look at that. We went 2 hours on this live stream. Wow. I didn't even know it's been that long. Wow. Hey, I enjoyed the conversation tonight, man. I'll be back tomorrow night for sure, guys. So, or tomorrow evening sometime. So, you know, if you think of some questions, write them down. Write down any questions you might have. That way, next time you catch my live stream, you break out that book and start asking me questions. If y'all would, hit the like button. You know, subscribe to my channel, please. And, you know, be safe out there. Come to Prime. Come make a change in your life for the best, you know. But, hey, Jeff, I didn't see you. I guess you just got in here. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm leaving, bro. But, yeah, everyone take care. Be safe out there. If you're looking at Prime, come out here to Prime. It's a life changer. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. I'm out.